Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about changing ourselves, leveling up, becoming your higher self. And one of the best things I did to level myself up was to change my environment. Hence, this is the new environment. But literally changing your environment is such an underrated hack. I know in the spirituality world, self-development world, everyone just talks about you have to change your inside for the outside to change. And yes, while that is true, your environment also has a really big impact on your mental health, on your habits, on your thoughts. Like your environment literally creates who you are as a person. And you ever think about how you can't think when your room is so messy, and then when your room is clean, like you can think clearly? It's kind of like that, but on steroids. Honestly, your environment affects you so much, incredibly. Like there's a saying that you can't heal in the place that broke you, and I think that's so true. Is because our environment holds energy, it holds memories, and your brain, when it recognizes a certain familiar environment or a certain familiar smell, it's gonna bring you back to that place. And if that environment is not good for you, or if you feel like you're not your best self in this environment because you picked up a bunch of bad habits, you picked up a bunch of negative self-talk, it's gonna be so hard to break those patterns in the same environment that you're living in, just because your brain is constantly seeing around you and scanning. Oh my God, this is the bed that I used to sleep in. This is what I used to do in this bed. This is how it smells. This is how it feels. And so when your environment is so the same, it's ingrained in like this old version of you, or this version of yourself who doesn't have good habits, who has a lot of bad self-talk, or if you're living in a toxic environment, you're going to be constantly having those emotional triggers and emotional wounds popping up in the same place that you are, because your brain is recognizing the environment and it's just thinking, oh my God, the same thing is happening over and over and over again. And I know that, like, in order to heal, you need to change your environment. You can't heal in the same place that broke you. Like, you need to in some way change your environment, whether that means, it doesn't just have to mean physical environment, even though if you are able to do that, definitely do it. But I know that's a privilege. Not everyone can just move. But if you can, or if you're feeling stuck, even changing the room that you're living in, the space that you're spending most of your time in, will help create like new neural pathways, and you're seeing new scenery, so you can start to establish a newer version of yourself. But environment doesn't just have to mean physical environment. It can be the people that you're surrounding yourself with. It can be the media that you're consuming. It can even be the perfume that you're wearing. It can be the places that you're going. But overall, changing your environment is definitely going to change who you are as a person, because when you start to go to new places, when you start to interact with new people, new neural pathways are gonna start like connecting in your brain, okay? And when you have new neural pathways, that is like a new beginning. It's a chance for you to become a new person, okay? And you can dictate what kind of person you are gonna be, but when you're surrounded with a lot of new, that's when it's a fresh start, essentially. That's what happened with me when I moved into my new apartment, and I realized, wow, I feel like my mental health is so much better. I don't have a lot of negative self-talk, and I was super into self-development for like years, and I was like, wow, like I have been working on my self-talk and like all these things for so long, and as soon as I just changed my environment, I was like, without even having to try, I felt like my confidence went up, my mental health became better, my self-talk became better. It's because I'm giving my brain new neural pathways. I'm giving myself a new experience, a clean slate for me to be who I want to be, and it's not dictated by my past behaviors, my past habits, my past self-talk. And everything in my past environment was just a reminder of my past self, my past behaviors, my past everything. So just creating a new environment for myself was like, whoa, without even having to try, I feel like I leveled up myself. And it's just because my brain, like I said, is creating new neural pathways. And I think another thing that is also really important is the sense of safety, okay? In order to become your higher self, like, you need to have a sense of safety. Like, a regulated nervous system is like the new wealth, honestly. If you can feel safe, like in your being, in your essence, in your environment, you're gonna thrive. But if you don't feel safe, whether that's because of a toxic environment, toxic family members, or whatever it is, you're never gonna be able to thrive, because safety is the foundation of being, of life. Like, it's your root chakra. If you don't have like a solid root chakra, okay? Like you feel safe in the sense of you have your emotional needs met, your physical needs met, your food needs met. You're never going to be able to, like, how do you call it? You're never going to be able to ascend because your foundation is not built on a solid foundation. And safety is the number one thing that you need to ascend. So by changing your environments, by changing things that you consume, by changing the people that you're around, if you're around toxic people, like, that is going to enable you to just like level up and become your best self. I have other tips. Give me one other second. I'll pull it up. Okay, another thing on like changing your behavior is when you create like a new behavior for yourself, you can instill like new habits. Like if you don't have like the ability to change environments completely, move, I get that's so extreme. But if you don't have that, you can still change your environment and like have your environment positively influence you. Obviously we all want to have self-discipline, we all want to have strong willpower, but discipline and willpower it's a limited, like you have a limited amount of energy, you have a limited amount of willpower in a day. That's why you see people like being super good on their diets for the whole entire day, and at night they just cave and they have like cheesecake. It's because at the end of the day they've made so many decisions against eating junk food that at the end of the day their reserve is low and they just end up eating the cheesecake. And it's the same thing with your environment. If your environment is promoting using your phone all the time, eating junk food all the time, or your environment is promoting having negative self-talk or negative self-image, then what's going to happen is your brain can only resist the negativity, like negative junk food or the social media for so long, and you're going to end up caving. So there's this quote that I read that just said, like, it's just better to make it easy on yourself. Like, make it easy on yourself to show up for yourself. Whether that's like, if you want to be the type of person to wake up and work out in the morning, prepare your workout clothes the night before. Literally sleep in your workout clothes so you have no excuses. You wake up and you go to the gym. If social media is a problem for you, sleep away from your phone so that when you go to bed, you're not tempted to go on your phone, because if you have it next to you, you're gonna go on your phone, so don't have it next to you. If you want to eat healthier, just stop buying junk food and putting it in your environment, because if you see it, you're gonna eat it. It's like out of sight, out of mind. So it's like you can still cultivate your environment, or you can still cultivate the people you're around to create a sense of safety, but also create the type of person that you want to be. I mean, I already mentioned like you can create the type of environment with the people that you go to, but yeah, cut out negative people in your life and start surrounding yourself with people who you want to be like. Like, I think people spend so much time and energy focused on the red flags of their partners that we don't really have the same filters for red flags of like friendships or relationships. But it's like you this is so cheesy, but you are the average of the people that you spend the most time with. So if there's toxicity there, or if you don't like how these people are, change your environment. Start spending time around people who are at the gym. Start going to networking events. I know it's so hard because as an adult, it's like harder to meet people, but you even just like pushing yourself to going to new environments is gonna create like new neural pathways, and it's gonna create like a new version of yourself. Like literally, if you are feeling stuck or you're feeling like I just wanna be a new version of myself, it can be as simple as starting to change the coffee shop that you go to. If you go to the same coffee shop every single day to get that same order, your brain is on autopilot. If you need to have basically a pattern interrupt for your brain to create new neural pathways, and the pattern interrupt is you simply going to a different coffee shop, or you getting a smoothie in the morning, whatever it is, and you start doing that, you're creating a different environment and you're creating space for your brain to create these new neural pathways, aka so that you can become a new person. Like literally just doing that help, mixing it up, changing the people that you spend time with, reaching out to old friends, to people you haven't spoken to in a while, going to new like restaurants, going to new coffee shops, going and having new experiences, like that will all help shape you to be a different person or create all these new neural pathways. Now, obviously, the most important thing is a sense of safety. If you have a sense of safety, you're gonna be able to thrive. You're gonna be out of fight or flight. And so if you can't move from like your toxic, first of all, if you have the ability to like leave a toxic environment, do so. But if you can't physically move from your toxic environment, there are things that you can do to still regulate yourself and have a sense of safety. But yeah, I mean, things to do is like spend as much time in nature as possible. Nature is literally the world's cortisol reliever and like relaxer. It will relax you so much. It will like regulate your nervous system, make you feel really good, make you feel really, really grounded. Getting exercise really helps with your mental health and also regulating your nervous system, even going on a walk all the time. And also breath work also helps to induce your parasympathetic nervous system, so it really helps again with regulating your nervous system. But I think the biggest benefit for me in terms of changing my environment was having a clean slate and just moving, literally. Anyway, this is going to be like a short video, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.